All right, let's talk pregnancy, but probably not in the way you're used to. Today, we're going to imagine what happens from the inside, from the perspective of the organs themselves. Like, what if they could actually talk? Let's get into it.
Have you ever really stopped to think about it? What if your organs weren't just parts, but had actual personalities? Can you imagine the chaotic, 9-month-long committee meeting they must be having? Well, today, we're going to find out.
Okay, so picture this. Our story kicks off not with a big celebration, but with, well, a bit of confusion. It's just a regular Tuesday at Body Incorporated, everything's running smoothly, and then, all of a sudden, this weird internal memo starts making the rounds. And this is the very first alert. Nobody's panicking yet, it's just an anomaly. Something weird. A strange report gets flagged, and you know the drill. It gets escalated right up the chain of command, straight to the corner office. The brain has to be looped in on this, like right now.
And this is the moment everything flips on its head. The CEO, the brain, gets the intel, processes it, and then issues a directive that nobody saw coming. This isn't a bug in the system to be fixed, it's a top-secret project that has to be protected at all costs. Why? Because it's a baby. And boom, just like that, the entire mission statement of the company changes overnight.
So who's on this special task force? Let's meet the team that has to pull off this massive new project. You've got the brain, of course, the CEO calling all the shots. Then there's the stomach and intestines. They're down in the processing department. The lungs are a ventilation crew. The heart, that's the engine room, keeping everything running. And the poor bladder is stuck with waste management. Oh man, they have absolutely no idea what's about to hit them.
And yeah, they don't have to wait long to find out. We're now in the first trimester. And the first order of business? A complete and total hormonal hostile takeover of the entire workplace.
All of a sudden, productivity just tanks. This massive wave of new hormones washes over the whole system, and every organ is feeling sluggish, unmotivated, and just lazy. The normal workflow is completely shot, and the first department to really feel the heat is, you guessed it, processing.
The stomach is in a full-blown meltdown. It's trying to do its job, right? But this new management style is causing total chaos. The food traffic is backed up for miles, and there's this growing sense that the whole department is about to stage a walkout.
So what's the solution? Well, the team comes up with something drastic, an emergency evacuation. Yeah, it's basically hitting the messy reset button. But you know what? In the face of all that morning sickness chaos, it actually works. All right, we're moving on. The second trimester. The initial shock is worn off, everyone's kind of getting used to the new normal, but now this new tenant isn't just sitting there quietly anymore. Oh no, it's starting to make demands. And the first official complaint comes from the ventilation crew. The lungs are getting totally squeezed. All of a sudden, physical space is like prime real estate, and they're finding it harder and harder to get their work done because the new arrival is just expanding its territory. Meanwhile, down in the engine room, the heart gets a new work order. Double the output. Immediately. It's not just about pumping for one anymore, not by a long shot. Blood volume's got to go up, red blood cell count needs a boost. It's a massive, system-wide upgrade that's putting an incredible strain on all the machinery.
And with all this new production, you get a resource crisis, a supply chain breakdown, a frantic request goes up to the brain for more iron, a supercritical component, and the response that comes back? Sorry, warehouse is empty. The baby ate it all. Yep. This project is now officially prioritizing itself over the basic needs of the company.
And oh my gosh, we cannot forget about waste management. The poor bladder is under constant, and I mean literal pressure. It's doing its absolute best to maintain protocol, but with all the pushing and shoving from the new occupant, these little, let's call them accidental spills, are becoming, well, pretty frequent.
Okay, here we go. We're in the home stretch now, the third trimester. Every single department is at its breaking point, and the internal comms? They're getting seriously mixed up.
And this slide just perfectly captures the total absurdity of this final phase. The brain's communication channels are just overloaded with messages that completely contradict each other. The body is screaming for more fuel, so it sends out this urgent, system-wide "I'm hungry" alert. But at the exact same time, with literally zero physical space left, the stomach is frantically hitting reply all going, "No, I'm full." It is the central, confusing paradox of the third trimester.
And the physical strain is just becoming unbearable at this point. Major supply lines, we're talking veins, arteries, they're getting pinched and compressed, which is triggering all these system-wide alarms. You know that dizzy feeling? That's a big, flashing red light on the dashboard. It's a signal that the entire infrastructure is struggling to cope. Honestly, every organ is running on fumes and is about 2 seconds away from handing in the resignation.
And then, just when it feels like the whole system is about to have a total meltdown, something new begins to happen. A new event is triggered, one that's going to change everything all over again. Folks, it's eviction day.
And the whole process is so fast, so dramatic. First, the pressure just builds and builds to this absolutely impossible level. And then, there's a sudden downward shift, a huge movement. The baby itself seems to send out the signal, my time here is done. And then, in a crazy rush, it's over. The relief is just immediate, and it is overwhelming.
And it's here, for the first and only time, that we actually hear from the little project manager itself. With this cheerful little goodbye, totally oblivious to the 9 months of corporate chaos it just caused, the baby clocks out. It's off to start its next assignment on the outside.
You can't even imagine the celebration that's happening on the inside. It's incredible. The lungs can finally take a full, deep breath. The bladder has regained its authority. The heart's workload drops back down to a manageable level. There is glorious, wonderful space. All the employees are just overjoyed to have their office back to themselves.
But just as everyone settles back into their nice, happy, normal routine, a familiar-looking memo comes down from the brain. Remember that strange little ball from the beginning? Yeah, it's back. The entire 9-month project is kicking off all over again.
So this whole thing is a pretty hilarious way to look at pregnancy, right? But it also gives you a new appreciation for the incredible, chaotic, and yet perfectly coordinated effort that it is. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, what would the meeting minutes from your immune system look like during flu season? Definitely something to think about.